Also time where we read some viewer mail. Usually Christina goes to the mailbox and gives me a letter. Today? No letters, not even an address. We went the YouTube comment to juice our YouTube numbers a little bit.
Oh. Yeah.
Nick should start sending Brew flowers from the Clippers. Remember we were flirting with your Clippers fandom.
Yes. I haven't flirted with the Clippers in a while.
Well,
You know, I do want to get to the new arena, though.
Yeah,
I want to sit in the wall.
That's not the new arena.
In the wall?
Yeah, that's not the new
That's
arena.
crypto.
The wall. I want to sit in the wall.
Is that the new arena?
The Clippers
or not?
have the wall.
No, that's not.
No,
That's crypto.
That's crypto.
Oh, we need the new arena.
Yeah,
Looks
so
like we
gotta-
screwed that
we
up.
gotta get it. I told you, you've been mailing it in, Miles.
got
You've
the
been
old
mailing
room.
in the intros to the Butler for like 3 weeks now.
That's all right.
All right, don't think I'm not taking notice. All right, at number 3, Russell Westbrook. Russ, I love you. I think you're an icon. You're going to go down, well, at least for now, as the only player ever to have multiple triple-double seasons. That's impressive. That's iconic. But yesterday, the renowned thought leader, Nick Wright, just ripped your playoff resume to shreds. And Wilds was his amen corner. Over it. He ripped it to shreds.
It's nuts.
And I gotta admit, you definitely were. I gotta admit, a lot of it was true. All right? But I didn't like that Nick took such glee in talking about your struggles in the postseason. But here's the deal, Russ. You have a chance to make amends. Now, you're never gonna lead a team to a championship. Those days are over. All right? But if you could help Denver win a championship, that would be drastically change your postseason resume, particularly the last part of your career. It would be like a Gary Payton or Alonzo Mourning championship, maybe Jason Kidd. Not career-defining championship or anything like that, but a nice cap to a Hall of Fame career. So go out there and help the best player in the world, Joker, win his second championship. And Russ, do not by any means cost the Nuggets a playoff game or, God forbid, a series with some of the senseless shenanigans that you pulled off against Minnesota the other night. Russ, I believe in you.
I like that one.
All right. At number 2, Julius Randle.
Huh.
I think I'm going to shock you with these numbers, Wilds. Julius has had a nice little career.
Yeah.
You know, his 19 points, 9 rebounds a game for his career.
Wow. He averages more points per game than Reggie Miller did? Unbelievable.
And that's when they were scoring 65 points a
okay,
game.
sorry,
Reggie,
my bad.
But 19 and 9, nice career, 3-time All-Star. But there is a major knock on you, Julius, and it's that you fall off a cliff during the playoffs.
Yeah.
And check this out. Your 19 points goes to 17 points. Okay. But your field goal percentage
Is the problem.
plummets from 47% to 34%.
It's unbelievable.
I thought that was a typo when I
It's
first saw that.
unbelievable.
3-point goes from 33%, not great, but down to 28%. And you've only won one playoff series in your 11-year career, but you got an opportunity to change that. And you don't have to be the star. You just be a strong sidekick to Anthony Edwards. And there's good news for you. Now, when you were out, Julius, it was a rough, rocky start when you first got to Minnesota, kind of. Then you went out with injury. The Timberwolves went 5-8 in February. Then you come back and they go 12-3, which is what they are right now, 12-3. So, Julius, you're fitting in nicely as the second guy, second scorer to Ant Edwards. So, you don't even have to win the West. Just win a couple of playoff rounds and with Anthony Edwards, and now your playoff resume begins to change. Your image shifts. Julius, I actually believe in you. At number 1, Ja Morant.
Oh, boy.
We all know Ja, you're a fantastic player. Face of the league talent. That's what you are. All right, but your antics and immaturity are killing you. Now, we all want to believe that you learn from the gunplay on social media incidents that derailed your career a couple years ago, but then you go ahead and you do this. I get that Buddy Hield was doing it to you first, but it just shows a lack of self-awareness that you got to get over. Now, you're still a great player, and you probably at 25 years old feel like, I'm always going to be this superstar. I'm going to name a few guys that had starts to their career similar. Now, I could go, I'm talking about guards, too. Derrick Rose and Penny Hardaway, that was injury, right? But how about Steve Francis? Steve Francis, how about Stephon Marbury? There was a point early in their careers they looked just like Ja Morant. Like, we thought they were going to be Hall of Famers. And they ended up, you know, not fizzling out totally, but not being Hall of Famers. And so it could happen to you. They have funky attitudes at times and, you know, immaturity or some antics off the court or with teammates so that derailed their Hall of Fame trajectory. I don't want that to happen to you, Ja. You also get hurt a lot. I don't know if that's you, if that's just bad luck or whatever, but you got to start doing everything you can to take care of your body. You've never played 70 games. You've only played more than 65 once in your 6-year career. I just want Ja, you to reach your full potential, which is MVP, face of the league caliber player. And you still got plenty of time to turn it around and do that. So, Ja, I do believe in you. Go ahead and mature.
Would you add to the cautionary tales Gilbert?
Yes. Yes.
Kind of with, you know what I mean?
That was real gun.
Yeah, no, but see.
That's a great one. Gilbert,
similar.
absolutely.
Coach, your take on the Bud list?
I love Thursdays.
Yeah.
Coach,
thoughtful. There's historical references. It's balanced. There's poetic
Coach had
verbiage.
took notes about how much he loves.
Look, antics and immaturity. It's senseless shenanigans.
That was good.
I mean,
I'm a former writer.
I'm sitting here, check. It's so good. It's so good.
Excellent.
That's why it's hard for me to follow first. But I'm going to add someone that I think Kevin Wiles will like. I'm adding Stephon Diggs to the Bud list.
This is motivational, correct?
Yeah, it is. It is motivational because I think that he has a real chance to affect his legacy. And as he's kind of traveled throughout his career, and he starts in Minnesota, and then he goes to Buffalo, and Buffalo seems to get a little tired of him, and then he goes to the Texans, and after 1 year, they're ready to move on from him. Now he has this opportunity in New England, and he's been an incredible player, and he's with an offense that desperately needs an incredible player, and he's with a young quarterback that has an opportunity maybe to take a real jump depending on the way that Stephon is willing to affect the offense and be a positive force. And I think that, to me, makes this a really unique moment in time for him. So let's just look at what New England's dealt with over the last 4 years versus what Diggs brings. So in 2021, their lead receiver had 83, Diggs had 103, 67, 108, 49, 107, and even last season, he only plays 8 games. He's got 47 catches. New England's leading receiver has 66 catches. So he brings all that. And maybe he's not the 100-catch receiver. Maybe he's not that. Okay, but even just having that name as part of the offense forces defenses now to have to account for him, which to me I think is a very good thing as well. So I went back and I just read what D'Amico Ryan said about him, and he talked about his energy and his leadership and the positive things that he did, because I thought that they just wanted to move on from him. So I'm really hoping that that's what we get from Diggs in New England, and that now he takes that offense to, maybe it's not going to be an elite offense, but another step in the progression to moving back to the dynasty that it once was many
Love it, Coach Stephon, the New England coach, digs it. That's an awesome tagline, too. I think that's great, and it's motivational. Like, hopefully Stephon was watching, because that was great motivation.
No, just exactly.
Could be a leader, change
That's
his
why
image
this segment is great.
Your guy's
You lead in such a good way. It's so easy to follow.
Thank you, Coach. You definitely followed.
49 catches 2 years ago.
We have a new offensive
Okay.
Josh McDaniels got a lot of Super Bowls.
Okay.
49.
It's a little after 4:10 on a Thursday, Wilds. What does that mean?
It's time now, whether you like it or not, for the sports meeting on Buds.
So last week, Kevin Wilds got put on the Bud list because the Bud list tries to be unbiased. Because there is nothing sports fans hate more than anybody actually bias in media. And in fact, a big problem today with all sports discourse, but particularly NBA discourse, is obvious biases. Just this morning, I saw one of the Morris twins be like, Joker's nowhere close to a top 20 all-time player. Bruce sent it to us. And it's like, well, Joker also, the probably worst moment of his career, was shoving your brother in the back and giving him whiplash. You might not like him. We watch the shows. And the bias of, like, you know, as it happens, the greatest era of basketball was the era I personally played in and my friends played in. It's bias.
Makes sense.
And it, I feel, has always touched on the GOAT debate. And I would never accuse Brew of being biased, but he does occasionally say, you know, as Michael Jordan texted me, and I'm like, oh, there, he's got that. We've seen Stephen A., of course, hanging out with Michael in luxury boxes. Like, oh, there's bias. Which is why I always felt, you know what? I'm the last pure man in the kingdom on this. Which is why it pains me.
If you're...
That I have to put myself on the Bud list.
If you're running...
Because I was the only impartial voice left. And after this weekend, KW, I don't know that I am anymore. At least not to America. What I thought was just a friendly handshake. Good to see ya, everyone. Now folks are accusing me, me, of being biased. I was just watching a basketball game. Just a couple professionals who respect each other's craft saying hello. But now I'm being accused of all types of chicanery here.
That's unfair.
It's unfair. And now to the public, Brew, there's no more. I guess it's just Brew's the only impartial voice left. But so I apologize to America that had looked at me as someone that waves pom-poms for no one, as Brew would always say. To get that unfair image, and so yeah, I'm putting myself on the Bud list this week, Brew.
Here's the thing. People knew you were biased.
No.
I am. You are absolutely right. I am the only unbiased. Yes, I sometimes will text with Michael Jordan. I've had a great relationship with LeBron.
That is true.
LeBron, I have a picture in my office of LeBron with his arm around my mom. What? I have LeBron with pictures with my daughters when they were little girls, his arms around. Like, I love both LeBron and Jordan. So, listen, America, the one person out there, when it comes to the GOAT debate that gives you unvarnished, unbiased views, it's me.
That's true.
It's me, because I love Michael Jordan and I love LeBron James.
Coach,
and I just keep it real. Thank you, Coach.
Amen corner over there.
True. Good job, Coach. All right, that was a good Bud List edition.
Thank you, KW.
I was nervous for it.
You're always nervous.
Well, you never know. Some news around the NFL. Did you hear?
What?
Joe Milton, Bazooka Joe, headed to the Cowboys. Quick story. People always say, Wilds, why do you have such an affinity for backup quarterbacks?
Yes, why?
Well, I'll tell you. It's the same reason I have an affinity for Canada mints. You ever have a Canada mint? It's like a chalky.
Never even heard of it.
It basically tastes like chalk. It's like pink chalk. But my great-grandfather, when we would visit him, he's very old.
He invented them?
No, he didn't invent them. But he was a fan of them, and he would give them to me. And I'd have them, so now that has stuck with me even as I'm old. A nice chalky candy, a wafer of some sort, I love. Tom Brady was my Canada mint. That when I was young, I saw the potential of a backup quarterback and what a backup quarterback could do. That's why I'm falling in love with all these backup quarterbacks. Ooh, Mac Jones is the back. Ooh, I love him. Bazooka Joe, the backup. Now he's Dak's backup in Dallas. But I thought that was it. I thought it was just my own kind of fondness for the past, let's say. I was watching the facility because I support FS1 shows.
I love the facility.
At 10 o'clock.
I do.
Here's what Acho said. I got a quote panel. I don't think it means anything for Dak Prescott right now. I was like, yeah, it's Dak Prescott. But this is a Cowboys quarterback origin story. I said, oh my goodness. Me and Acho are in the same boat. Then he went through it. Bledsoe's the quarterback. Here comes Romo, the backup. Ends up taking the job, being the franchise quarterback, being the face of the Dallas Cowboys. Until what happens? Oh, he gets injured. And then Here comes Dak, late draft pick, comes in, plays great. Is that going to happen with Bazooka Joe? No, but Acho was right that this has happened 2 times before. Granted, he signed a 4-year, $240 million deal.
That seems important.
You're kind of saying
He's locked in. No.
Oh, Bledsoe had signed a $100 million deal
Right.
before Brady.
Yeah.
I'm just
You're
saying.
kind of
No.
implying that it is going to happen.
First 4 years, Dak played every game. Remember, he had that starting streak for a while. Last 5 years, 8 games, 17. That's good. 12 and 16. If Bazooka Joe Milton can get some playing time, I don't want it to happen, but even in the preseason, I'm telling you, you're the guy who said, Cooper Rush, you're not saying, but you're saying. Once you see Bazooka Joe out there throwing the ball and running, and then he gets in the end zone and does a backflip, whoop. He's got a cannon for an arm. I'm telling you, I do love backup quarterbacks.
How sick are you going to be if he becomes the next Tom Brady and New England traded him away for a swapping 5th and a 7th round pick?
Right.
That will be. That'll be the end of your New England story.
That would be
Also,
crushing.
That would be devastating.
I thought you were going to run a different quote from the facility.
What?
See what Shady said?
No.
Dak better call his real estate agent. Shady's all in on Bazooka Joe.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.